So tonight, it's an old school rivalry. The Chicago Cubs visiting the St. Louis Cardinals. And given how 11th hour this is, I couldn't really produce an AI generated thumbnail, so I had to go off internet to grab one. This is probably the most balanced division in the majors. Everyone is over 500 in one way or another. The basement dwellers are the Reds at a record of 30-26. Cubs and Cardinals in the middle of the pack. But there's one thing I hate about how hot it is outside today. It's the same fucking problem I had throughout the conference finals with this TV setup. I.e., NBC reception is fucking horseshit. And let's just say I'm doing these videos as a means to an end of making up. The first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Nico Horner against Jose Liberatore. 1-1. There's one thing I wish. I wish it wasn't as warm as it is today. I mean, true, it's a little cooler than it's normally been, but still. Horner lines one in the left center for a base hit, and he's going to hit the brakes at first. Velasquez will scoop it up. The lineups tonight for the Cubs, they have Nico Horner leading off, as we just saw. Peter Crow Armstrong at center, batting second. Alex Bregman at third. Seiya Suzuki in right. Ian Happ in left. Carson Kelly behind the dish. Michael Busch at first base. Who's this Alcantara kid? Kevin Alcantara DHing, must be a rookie. And Dansby Swanson batting ninth. 1-0 pitch to PCA. Too far upstairs, 1-1. For the Cardinals, they'll have Weatherhold at second, Herrera DHing, Jordan Walker in right, Velasquez in left, Nate Burleson at first, Winn at short, Furman at center, Sagassi at third, and Pages catching. 1-1 pitch. And we got some junk on the field, I think. Yeah, Daniel. How about them fucking Knicks? This is what happened PCA last night. Smashed one down the right field line for a homer. Armstrong fouls that one off. Swings and misses at that one, 1-2. Or he fouled it off. Off on a slider. Foul off. That's going deep into the third deck, but it's well past beyond the third base on the opposite end of the first baseline. Armstrong will take his time out. And when I say I'm doing this shit to make up for a lot of lost time, I mean it. PCA drives in the right center base hit. That's going to move Horner to second. In the straightaway, in the dead center, in a shallow center base hit, that's going to move Horner to second. Bregman takes ball one in the dirt. Hello, Chad. And for those wondering, no, I don't get as many people on my baseball calls on my X account as I do my basketball ones. And I highly doubt I'll get the same amount for hockey. I'm pretty sure it'll be the same with hockey. 2-0 pitch. Fouled off down the third baseline. 2-1. And why is that? Because baseball is a pretty slow-paced sport. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went after the slider. 2-2. Or he went after a changeup. Excuse me. Bregman has been to 9 consecutive postseasons. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed at the curve. Strike 3. 1 down for Liberatore. And here comes Seiya Suzuki. Seiya Suzuki is due up next. Cubs in their alternate blue unis. Cardinals in their traditional road home whites. Curveball in the dirt. Way too low. Ball 1. 7 home runs, 19 RBIs, a 743 OPS, and a 250 batting average for Suzuki. Hitting .500 in this series. That's a cheap pop-up. And 2 down. Infield flying effect as Wynn makes the catch. Thomas Sagassi, JT Witherford, Alec Burleson, Mason Wynn. Make up the infield. The outfield made up of Nelson Vasquez, Velasquez, Jordan Walker. What was this Furman's name? Jose Furman. And with Pablo Pajes behind the plate. Oh, Pedro Pajes, excuse me. 1-0 pitch. Foul to the backstop by Happ. 1-2. 1-1. And to the ABSN, I am sorry if this is so 11th hour. But again, now that I can no longer do baseball calls on the HSN for disciplinary actions, for disciplinary reasons, Horner tries to take off for second, but he makes it back safely. Strike 2. I'm stuck basically doing my national game calls, not just my Met and Yankee calls, on here in my own station, plus my Twitch account, plus my X account. I mean, now that the station is on the cusp of making money anyway, because the algorithm is as close as we can get to 1,000 subs. That's shot foul. One-two pitch. This is why I hate NBC in this damn basement. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So after getting runners on first and second and nobody out, the Cubs are not able to capitalize. So let's see what St. Louis can do in their at bat. They'll have Weatherford, Herrera, and Walker due up. If I have to resort to my fucking mini TV, I mean, that's going to be a straw on the back of the camel that breaks it. And as we guessed, this is going to be a battery game for the Cubs. It's Jordan Wicks returning from an elbow injury. Oh, he's a minor league arm. He's on the shelf for left elbow inflammation, rehab. Iowa was only the second start for Wicks. Spent most of last year in the bullpen. Not one of the best arms the Cubs have in the arsenal, to be honest. Especially when he's a short-term arm at best. Especially with a 16.62 ERA, 4 in the third innings, 5 strikeouts. I don't know how many he coughed up in his last outing. 8 runs, 9 hits, 1 walk to a whip of 2.31. And this was against Pittsburgh last weekend. This past Tuesday. First, 0-2. As a four-seam fastball up and in was called a strike. Slider low and in, strike 2. In the dirt, 1-2. I'm really getting sick of losing these fucking signals. One of the main reasons I didn't want to do Sunday night baseball this year. The fact that once the conference finals were over, I was going to be swamped. The only problem is I'm stuck with a TV signal in a low area of the house where I can't get a good reception from NBC no matter which way I go. Ground ball in the left field, base hit for Weatherholt, and the Cardinals have their leadoff man off on first to start the game. Let's see if we can get something clear here. 0-2 pitch, 0-1 pitch to Herrera. And that gets fouled off. 0-2. For Ivan Herrera. One and two. And I lost the signal again. Don't get me started on using Peacock to watch the game. That thing is at least 2 to 3 pitches behind. Line drive in the right center field, base hit. Weatherholt's going to head for third, and he's going to make it safely. Another single, and unlike the Cubs with runners on first and second, nobody out, the Cardinals have runners on first and third on the corners and nobody out. That was an off-the-plate pitch. I don't know what the hell Wicks was thinking throwing that. And for that matter, why Herrera swing at it? That was a changeup well low and away from the plate. Here's Jordan Walker. Check swing, did not go around. Ball 1. Walker among the league leaders in homers and ribbies. 15 home runs, 42 RBIs this year. Leads the Cardinals in terms of productivity. That one's driven into right field. Base hit. That's going to score Weatherford, and the Cardinals draw first blood, 1-0. But then again, that's a consequence of bringing a guy who's just come off the injured list. Onto the field. The pitch tonight. Here's Nelson Velasquez. Before Nelson Velasquez comes up, Jordan Wicks is going to get a talking to from his infield. Burleson waits on deck, and Wynn awaits in the foxhole. Jordan Walker has officially improved his hitting, and he is on pace for an all-star game for an all-star vote in. He'd be voted into the All-Star game for the NL squad in Philadelphia this year. First pitch to Velasquez is fouled down the left field line. Fouled back to the backstop, 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Maybe Vinny wants to help. Copy. Gmail. Let's see if I still have his address on here. 0-2 pitch from Wicks. In the dirt, 1-2. Foul off in the dirt again, 2-2, and then a foul off. We'll do it again. Foul off again, and we'll do it again. Ground ball. Over the second and 1. Over the first 9 times. They'll take the force out. Just too deep for Swanson to get the ball. Just too deep for Swanson to respond there. So where is the 28 draft going to be? Okay. Super Bowl 64 in 2030. Minneapolis? Fuck that. Screw that. I am not flying my ass up to Minnesota for the draft in 28. I'd rather take my chances going to DC in 27. I mean, next year. Two and 0 to Burleson. Grounded down the first baseline, but it's going to hook foul. I mean, you have a predominantly Gold Glove defense array for the Cubs. You got Bregman in the hot corner, Swanson at short, Horner at second, Happen left, and PCA in center. Or for the Cubs. How do you get out of this hole? That one's grounded. Over the throw, they'll get the out at first, but nothing else. Run comes home. It's a productive out for Burleson, and the Cardinals now lead 2-0. Here's Mason Wynn, and he'll take ball one low and away. Trust me, my NBC connection reception is at its clearest during fall and winter, i.e., during football season. When it's football season. 2-0. That's fouled off. Compound V soap? Ugh, it's another no-gritter. Must have been done for the season finale of The Boys. Blue raspberry and cedarwood, huh? But answer me this. Even though I do have a subscription, a freebie subscription to the Dr. Squatch newsletter, so I get a lot of updates. 2-2 count, by the way. Why the hell would I want to smell like that pussy-footed cunt Homelander? Answer me that. Sorry if I'm distracted. When strikes gets called out on strikes and he ends, but not before 2 runs on 3 hits and nobody and 1 man strand. 2-0 St. Louis. Carson Kelly fouls off the first pitch. Well, his batting average is near 300. He hasn't been very productive this year. Curveball, strike 2 from Jose Liberatore. One of the oldest rivalries in baseball. Driven down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul. Way upstairs with that fastball, ball one. Up, right, shallow right field. Walker coming on. He'll make the catch. One down. $20 and 3, and then 5 and 15. It's been a month of misery. One as it's Michael Busch who's up, 1 and 2, and Busch will burn his batter's timeout. Cars are finally warming up. 2 and 2. But let's see what the weather report is in Nashville before we even jump to that conclusion. Okay, they're expecting a little more rain, but not much. So the Rays should be ready to go by 8 at worst. Swan and missed strike 3 to Michael Busch. 2 down, and Alcantara's up. First pitch. Take strike 1. He's looking for his first hit of the season, maybe if not his career. Looks like I'm going to have to break out the mini artillery as much as I don't like to use it. And I put emphasis on not liking to use it, given how wonky the signal can get. Plus, being as close to a damn microphone it is, I could get hit with a sound strike. With a sound strike by YouTube. YouTube and or X. Maybe YouTube, X, or both. I don't know. 1-2 pitch in the 1-0-2 pitch in the dirt to Alcantara, 2 and 2. 1 and 2. That one's driven the center, but oh yeah, I forgot. I couldn't pick the damn station up. Auto scan. Anyway, inning over. No runs, no hits, nobody left. 2-0 St. Louis through 1.5. 9, 14. I'm tallying up how many channels I'm going to be able to pick up on this damn thing. I'm doing a full scan. Trust me, this thing can be a pain in the ass. 26. 32. I'm pretty sure I didn't pick up NBC on this damn thing. And once again, I did. The bottom 2. Vermin is under. Will lead off the second for the Cardinals. I really hate this damn thing sometimes. First pitch is a strike over the middle. Strike 2. You want a foul ball. $30. And trust me, having to move around to get this damn thing to pick up stations is a pain in my ass. Ground ball, scooped up by Bregman. He'll throw to first. 1 down. And then, given what my mom is watching, it's probably also causing a bit of EM interference. Strike 1, catches the edge of the plate, edge of the strike zone. On 1. Try one more auto scan, see if we can pick it up. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1 and 2. And believe me, I despise having to use Peacock if I have to call this game. If you guys watched my game call with the Guardians and the Mariners at the start of the year, you know I got super pissed with how delayed it was. How horribly delayed that game call was. 1-2 pitch. And Sagasi fouls it off. We'll do it again. 25. Trust me, the Emerson model of this thing was even worse. Pop up, caught, 2 down. Sinker for strike 1. Two 38. Hope. Five. 1-1. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, this isn't going to give me much. Fucker. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Foul off again, and we'll do it again. 2-2. Now, maybe I should just use the damn radio call. Call this fucker is just going to mess with me because of bad reception. Driven another pop-up. Suzuki comes in, and he'll make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Wicks. Nothing across for St. Louis. They still lead 2-0. Jesus, 97? Gonna go into the 90s over next weekend? Fuck. The What's Up bit, from a scary movie. Though that actually started in the late 90s Budweiser's commercials following Super Bowl 33, I believe. Anyway, Cubs will have Swanson, Horner, and PCA to lead off the third against Liberatore. First pitch, curveball up and just doesn't catch the strike zone or barely misses it. 1-0. Sinker, that should be challenged. If I'm Pajes, I'm tapping the helmet saying challenge that. That looks like it caught the strike zone. They're not going to challenge it. Though if you ask me, if you look at that pitch, that's definitely a strike. Joe pitch stared at and missed. Swanson doesn't bother chasing. 2-1. Hall of Fame inductions for Pujols, Molina. I didn't see the last one. Who were key players in the 2011 title for St. Louis. In the dirt, as well as the 06 title. The titles won by St. Louis in 2006 and in 2011. That one's in the dirt, 3-1. 3-1 pitch. High and away, and Swanson can take his base. And will take his base. Albert Pujols with the Cardinals, 5th most games, 4th most hits, most homers all time, 2nd most all time in RBIs, only behind Stan Musial. As the rest of the homers he hit out of the 700 plus he got were on other teams, bouncing between the Dodgers and the Angels of Anaheim. And the Angels. First pitch to Horner is fouled off to the back, and Horner will use his timeout. Curveball over the middle, and Horner doesn't even bother to go after. Freezes up, 0-2. Pickoff attempted first. Swanson gets back. Ground ball. It's fielded cleanly at first to get Horner, but the attempt at a 3-6 double play backfires as Burleson's throw overshoots a win, and Swanson makes it to second easily. First pitch to PCA is fouled off. Tying run out the plate for the Cubbies. With Swanson's speed, if PCA can get hit gently enough into the outfield to where it drops, in between short and center. And Swanson can take off and head home, and the Cubs will be able to cut this lead in half. Sinker is fouled off over the plate, is fouled off to the backstop. 0-2. That one's lined to left and caught by Velasquez. That's going to force Swanson to stay put. Bregman struck out in his first at bat of the game. Strike one. One, two. It was fouled off. That's fouled off. 1-2. One-two pitch, ground ball. Ball to Sagasi. He'll flip it to fire it to Burleson. Inning over. So a walk and nothing else to bear fruit for the Cubs. We're 2.5 innings through. 2-0 St. Louis. Two and a half innings in. St. Louis been mostly a pitching game. The only major difference is the 2 runs that St. Louis got off Jordan Wicks early. Weatherford, Herrera, and Walker, all of whom got hits within the first 3 at bat, and 4 of the first 5 batters getting run, leading to the 3 of the first 5 batters getting hits. I didn't really call Mallory a nostalgic voice actress. Again, this is why I hate doing summer baseball on a Sunday night. Well, takes to the plate. First pitch is tipped into the glove on a slider, strike one. In the dirt, 1-1. And with a changeup. 19-6. Man, that's pathetic, Rockies. Ground ball. Horner will let it go through him, and it's going to be a base hit. Just have to stick it in his pocket. Infield hit. Hit the lead off the third. 70% of the hits and 71% of the homers from St. Louis have been hit by players 25 or younger. Interesting. It looks like Wicks is getting the hook. He's done after 2 innings, 4 hits, 1 strikeout, 49 pitches. I get easing him back into the rotation, so that's fine. And Ethan Roberts will check in. Will come on to pitch. Ethan Roberts is his 11th appearance, 0.80 ERA. Didn't think he'd come in this soon. But when you're trying to ease Jordan Wicks back into the lineup, and you basically use him as the opener for a battery game, it makes sense that you gotta use the pen. First pitch to Ivan Herrera, strike one. Strike two. Pair of sinkers. That's driven to left field under the glove of Swanson for a base hit. Wentworth was briefly off second, but he got back safely. They're going to rule that a single. That looked more like an E6, if you ask me, since it went off the glove of Swanson. Walker up next. First pitch. High sinker, swing and a miss. Strike one. Guess the race got called off. Probably rescheduled for tomorrow. Let's see. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of, and rescheduled it. Swung on a miss, strike three. Down goes Walker. Let's check the timeline. I'm going to get one. Let's see. Has Cracker Barrel 400 been postponed? Pop up, 2 down. Or a ground ball. Or a line shot. Weatherford nearly got cut off. Got cut down. One out driven. Hit hard to first, but it's going to be an out. Or it's hit foul, excuse me, by Burleson. In the dirt, 2-1 with a sweeper. Down the left field line. Fair ball. And that's going to score a run. 3-0 St. Louis. Second RBI of the game for Burleson. Oh, it was a fly ball that fell in front of half. Weatherholt scores. Herrera moves to third. And on the throw, Herrera goes I mean, Burleson goes to second. Oh, it's Alec Burleson, not Nate Burleson. Excuse me. That run will be charged to Wicks. So his line is close. So unless this last out is attained, his line will close at 2 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. And only barely manages to drop his ERA. Ripped up the middle, base hit. That's going to bring home 2. And now the book is closed. 4 earned runs on and coughed up tonight by Wicks. In his return to St. Louis, 5-0 Cardinals. 5-0 in favor of the Redbirds. Mason Wynn with a 2-run single. And Furman takes one inside, ball 1. Pickoff attempt at first, not back fat, not going to get him. Ball 2 on the cut. Two and 1 on a foul cut, and 2 and 2 on a foul ball cut, on a cut foul. Damn it. Game 3 of the Cup final is Saturday, so I can't do a ball game call. Full count as the sweeper goes wide. Full count. Furman gets a good bit of this one. Deep left field, heading toward the corner. Down the line, but it's going to hook foul. Payoff. Got him looking, but not before 3 come home for the Cardinals, one of which gets charged to Wicks. The other 2 to Roberts. 3 innings in, 5-0 St. Louis. Tonight's episode of AIO, but not forgotten. The conclusion, the two-parter to Gone. Oh, wrong button. Send radio. Here we go. That one's hit to left and caught. To break for Seiya. On one. On two. Drive. Another pop fly to the left. Caught by Velasquez. Strike one. A 1 pitch. Driven foul, 0-2. Poor scrub. Swing and a miss, or foul off. One, two. It's Matthew Libitor. I always figure it. That was Jose Libitor. Don't we all, scrub? Foul ball. 1, 2. He will. Got him. Foul off. Two and two. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Three and a half innings complete. 5-0 St. Louis. Referring to his first wife, Emily. She had died from a stroke prior to this episode, about 2 years prior to this. First pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1 to Sagassi. And Trent Thornton is coming to replace Ethan Roberts. All one. Swing and miss. 2-0. Swing and miss. 2-1. Hang on a sec, folks. Well, 1. 1-2. 1-2. Swing and miss. Strike 3. Connie's feeling a little jealous over the fact that Jack is taking over for her jobs when she's running late. Two down. Runner at second. As Sagasi got a single, and then the bump at Paez. That was a walk. 1-1. 2-1. 1-1. Shut up. 1, 2. One, two. Down the line, foul. It's time. Foul was upheld. Curved too far, just a few feet from the left. Fell off again. Fell off. What? 2 and 2. Fly ball to center. And Armstrong make the catch. Inning over. Good point there, Jack. Good point. True. Yep. When you were kids and you scooped up, one down. Liberatore has been ripping through the Cubs tonight. And predominantly curveballs and sliders being thrown by Liberatore. First pitch to Alcantara is a strike on the fastball. Call confirmed. Cubs lose their second challenge. They have nothing left for the rest of the game. Ball one. God damn it, Harlow. In the dirt, full count. Payoff pitch. Whacked in the right center. That's going to go to the gap. But Firmino will quickly cut it off, and Alcantara will have to hold it first. Strike one to Swanson. Getting closer to the album I've never listened to. Strike two. Two. Hop up, right field, caught by center field, caught by Herman for me. Yeah. Horner line it, caught, inning over. Vespa amino acid admixture, aka VAM. Five nothing St. Louis. First pitch, 1-1 pitch is popped up. Swanson under it. He'll make the catch, one down. Strike one. Oh, and 2 to Velasquez. Believe me, this game has been a nightmare to do with this setup. Fouled off, 0 and 2. Ground ball out. Or it's a pop up. 2 down. Why no? Do we know? And out of the inning with a pop up to by Burleson are the Cubs. Still looking for their first run of the night. We go to the sixth, 5-0 Cardinals. Oh, it took you long enough, you dumbass. Referring to awful coaching. Ball one. Foul one. Foul ball 1-1. Foul off again. 1-2. 1-2. 2-2 as it goes high. Fly ball, deep right center field, heading toward the gap, toward the wall, and it is caught by Walker. Toward the gap, a little short of the track, and caught. And it looks like Liberatore is going to be taken out after 5 1/3, 3 hits. And Hunter Dobbins will take in. John Lieber, John Lester. 2 men who have pitched in Cardinal blue, red, and Cubby blue. Strike 1. 1 to Bregman. Dobbins in his second appearance hasn't had a lot of luck. 1-1. Bregman smacks one left center field, and that one's gone. Cubs on the board. Oh, 2 pitch on the way. Ball 1. For Bregman, that's home run number 5. That one's fouled off. Swung and a miss. Strike 3. Ball. 20. 2 down. And that's going to end the inning. But the Cubs do finally get on the board. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody stranded. 5.5 complete. It's the Cardinals 5 and the Cubbies 1. So let's see how the race is going. Just as a heads up, I'm just doing this as a to keep tabs on it, not to actually call the race. Okay, Van Gisbergen's in front, then Larson, Bell, Reg, Logano, Briscoe, Bowman, and Blaney, your top 10. Check the timeline. Okay, let's see. Pre-planned cop caution. Lap 36. Okay. Hamlin got penalized for jumping the gun. So Reddick took the lead. Phil Maton, a former Met, now checks in the pitch for the bottom of the 6th. He'll face Wynn, Furman, and Sagassi. Pre-planned caution at lap 36. Van Gisbergen gets off pit road first, followed by Logano, and then Keselowski. Restart. Uh, 44, 45. Larson briefly took the lead, then Van Gisbergen got back. That's where we stand. But now Larson has taken over the lead. First pitch from Mates on the win. Sweeper low middle, strike 1. Ground ball. Swanson. Bregman scoops it up, fires the first. Got him. One down. Figured that much. 1-1 pitch. 1-0 pitch. Way outside. Ball one. And for those wondering what I figured, Mets were going to do a bullpen game against Seattle tomorrow. Is that a surprise for me? No. Two one. One pitch is in there. Strike two on a sinker. Ground ball. Mayton will scoop it. Fire. Two down. 42. Mound visit. I don't know why Mayton's getting the hook this early. Strike one. Two, 1-1. Three one. Call is confirmed. Strike two. Strike 3. Inning over. Cardinals lose a challenge. 6 innings complete. 5-1 St. Louis. First pitch. Strike 1. Nolan Gorman will play third base. Victor Scott goes in the center for St. Louis. Two and one. Liner is a short, caught by Win, 1 down. One and 0-1 has Kurt called strike to Bush, who has struck out once already tonight. Splitter in the dirt, 1-1. That's driven to left center, and that's going to go drop in for a hit. Bush will hold up at first as it's snatched up by Velasquez on the hop. Conforto will replace Kevin Alcantara at DH. So is Alvarado the new grimace for the Mets? I don't think so. Did not. Conforto, 4 homers, 13 RBIs, but he's been hitless in this series with a strikeout. He'll take the first pitch, a slider, strike one. That one's driven to deep left field toward the gap, and it's going to go off the wall. That's a double for Conforto. Scott will have to play it off the bounce of the wall. Bush not fast enough to get home. And here comes Swanson. Slider way outside, ball one. Two and zero. Three and zero. Strike one. Three and two. Swung and a miss. Got him. Two down. Dang. And a ground out to end the inning. So second and third, and one man out, and the Cubs can't capitalize. I'm 7. Hit Pajes, Weatherholt, and Herrera for the Cardinals. Out. My leg. And now Ryan Rollison will check in for the Cubs. Ball one in the dirt. No. Ball two. Third pitch fouled off. Two on pitch, driven to deep center field, but playable. Armstrong at the edge of the track. He'll halfway between the wall and the track, and he'll make the catch. 2 down. Strike one on the weather report. In the dirt, 1-1. One, two. One, two. I wonder if they have the maximal 7, too. From the original first season. 2-2. 2-2. Ball 3. And Weatherholt gets walked. Letterholt, one of the best base stealers in the league. Ball one in the dirt to Herrera, who scored twice tonight. 2 singles. Ground ball. Ball 3. Throw the second. Not in time. Three-zero pitch. Gets away in the backstop. Gonna be a walk. And it's runners on first and third. 1 out. Now for the Cardinals. Mound visit for Rollison, who is not having a good outing. 15 pitches, 5 of them, 10 of them balls. Ball 1. Fouled off. 1-1. Ground ball. 6-4-3. 5-4-3 double play gets the Cubs out of the inning. So again, nothing across for either side. One man stranded on third. He fails to get home. We go to the 8th. Still 5-1 St. Louis. 2-1 pitch. PCA facing Dobbins who is going into his second plus inning of work. 2-2. Better timeout taken. It's a split finger pitch. 2-2 pitch. Popped up. Paez under it. Got it. 1 down. Consecutive days with every team in a division at 500 or above. The record was last year with 52 days for the NL East. The Central is at 47 in this year. Strike one. Division with every team finished at 500 or above. 7 teams in the AL East back in 1991. But that was back when the East and when it was just the East and the West. The Central didn't come into play until the wild card era in 94. Bregman is up, 1-1 pitch. Fouls it off, 1-2. I'm starting to get a more consistent picture. That one goes into the Cardinal dugout. At least this game's going at a faster clip than the race. If I had to guess, Boston thought the race got scrapped. I mean, that's why with NASCAR, you got to take weather into account. Ground ball to short. The throw, got him. 2 down. Nice throw by Wynn. When to get the slow-footed Bregman. And as soon as I say I may have a better signal, I jinx it. Here's Seiya Suzuki. Fastball outside, ball 1. Average speed on the Mason Wynn throws, 92 miles an hour. Second pitch, sweep, way outside, 2-0. Oh, from Dobbins. So here's my question to the New York Mets. You only used 2 pitchers today. Nolan McLean for 5 innings and David Peterson to get a 4-inning save. And as far as I know, it's his second career save of his career. If you go back to the 2024 wild card matchup when he was brought in to close out the closeout game against Milwaukee. Having said that, who are you going to use as your opener tomorrow if you're going to run a bullpen gauntlet against the Mariners? That one's hit hard by Seiya down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul into the seats. That's what I like to fucking know. On paper, the best bet you got is Bronzabon to be the opener again. 2-2, swung and missed, inning over. 1-2-3 inning again for Chicago. Still bearing no fruit. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the score St. Louis 5, the Cardinals 5, and the Cubs 1. Whoop. Let's see. Bottom, not Cardinals. Okay, let's get rid of that. It always baffles me. Baseball is my bread and butter sport, and yet even when I go to Twitter to get some people to join, I'm lucky if I can get around 50. Where with basketball, stock car racing, I can get around 100 to 200. Last night I got 600 because it was a deciding closeout between the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And with football, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting around one. God, do I need a shave? First pitch is a strike on 1. Batter is Velasquez. He's facing Rolston for his second inning of work. There's a curveball. Missed again. Oh, got him to stare at it. 0-2. O2 pitch. Looped into center field. Base hit. Let's see what the June schedule is for Adventures in Odyssey. I mean, I know we're getting a good all of album 20, the last bit of album 21, all of album 22, and the first little bit or so of album 23. Twists and turns. Yeah, I'm sticking to the physical media episodes. That's outside 1-0. Two now. Two 0 pitch. Outside 3-0. Pitch to Burleson is taken 3-1. Yeah, I really need a new computer. This thing is pretty old at this point. Verify that I am human. And Burleson gets walked. May schedule. Switch to June. What do we got? George under pressure. They're really going to do all this shit. On 1 to Mason Wynn, who had a 2-run single in the third that basically blew the game open for St. Louis. In the dirt, 1-1. Ground ball, force at third, throw to first, got him. Double play. 5-3 double play orchestrated by the Cubs. Runner does advance to second, but it's not a productive out for St. Louis. I guess the America 2-parter will be in album 82. 2-1 pitch, swung and miss in the dirt, 2-2. Two pitch is driven deep to right center field. Armstrong back to the track, to the edge of the track, and he'll make the catch. Inning over. So a walk, a base hit, a double play, and a fly out is all the Cardinals can muster. We go to the ninth. Last chance for Chicago, down 5-1. Done my usual stunt, i.e., putting the link in the chat. I'm not going to tonight, okay? Not tonight. First pitch to Happ is catches the low outside corner, strike one. Dobbins looking for that first save. He has thrown 3+ innings, going 2 2/3 innings. He's looking to go 3 2/3. Swan misses a curve, 1-0-2. Outside, 1-2. 2-2. So it'll be the 7:15 game. So next week it'll be the Cubs and the Giants. Rather rare in that case when they get the Sunday nighter. Full count. Especially when you consider that by tradition, the majority of Cub games on the weekend at Wrigley are almost exclusively 2:20 starts. There are exceptions to this rule when they get the Sunday night prime timer, but it's not often. Swung and missed strike 3 on Happ as he chases one that just catches the outside corner. I drive down the line left field, but it's going to hook foul on Carson Kelly, 0-1. I think as much as I'd hate to do it next week, I'm probably going to go with Diamondbacks versus Nationals as my national game of the week. And you guys know the full-blown reason I hate it. It's going to be exclusively on Peacock, which means it's going to be on a massive-ass lag. You guys remember that Met Cub game I did last year on Roku and how frustrating that one was because of the stream lag. Upstairs, ball 1. Flag Day, Marlins against Pirates. Rangers, yeah, not doing that one. Father's Day, haven't heard back from Mitch, but more than likely he wouldn't want to do it with me anyway. Mets versus Phillies. Line drive to left. Walker comes on, takes a few steps to his left, and he'll make the catch, 2 down. It's all up to Michael Busch, and he takes strike 1. Want to try to keep the Cubs' chances of winning this game alive. The only run they've gotten is an Alex Bregman bomb in the 6th. And all the Cardinal runs have come in via small ball. Split finger pitch outside, 1-1. Dobbins has thrown 52 pitches. He's got to be gassing. Ball 2 is a split finger, misses the outside corner. Two 1 pitch. Strike 2. Busch will burn his timeout. Fouled off. Ground ball. Through the hole, base hit. Cubs are still alive. Here comes Scooter. Pop up, and it's going to go foul on 1. A 1 pitch in the dirt, low and in tight, 1-1. And Bush is going to take second on defensive indifference. For those wondering, that's not a stolen base for Bush. That's just the pitcher turning a blind eye to him. Catches the outside edge, 1-2. One-two pitch on its way. Fouled off. And for those wondering, aside from the Mets, I think the Cardinals are the team I've done. The Cardinals and Dodgers are the two teams I've done the most amount of game calls for. That one is drilled deep center field. Going back is Scott. Hits the brakes in the track. He'll make the catch. Game over. St. Louis wins 5-1. And St. Louis and the Cardinals will take the series 2-1, improving to 31-27, to 30-21-26. The Cubs will drop to 32-28. Winning pitcher Matt Liberatore, losing pitcher Jordan Hicks. Save Hunter Dobbins. Cardinals get 5 runs on 8 hits, scoring in 2 of the first 3 innings. The Cubs only get 1 run in the 6th inning on a solo shot by Bregman out of 7 hits, the accumulated hits. Tough break for the Cubbies. I'd like to thank everyone who showed up between the Aboriginal Sports Network, my X channel, and my own YouTube channel. Comment, like, and subscribe to the Aboriginal Sports Network, Hardcore Sports Network, my network. I'm Mets2128. Goodbye and good fucking night. Bang. I'll see you Tuesday when I got to cover Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals for the Hardcore Network.